Okay, cool. Yes, I very much appreciate all the kind words. I don't know what to do with them. I'm just going to leave that there. I don't love being in the spotlight, but I do like presenting, believe it or not. Um, like Rich and Amy said, like, I think the reason they feel so strongly is because they trained me and I've been with them ever since. I'm the other Katie. Yeah. No, don't do that to me. I'll read that. So anyway, so I have been in it for 4 years. A lot of life has happened over the years. I did create a slide that varies a little bit differently from Rich's numbers, but I believe Rich more than I believe myself. So I personally believe that we do a lot of business planning backwards. So this is the participation part of the group. So has anybody been to Valerie, Katie, you can tell me what Mungo's is like. Like when you do yearly planning, what does your business planning look like? What's the first thing they come to you and they say, hey, we're doing goals for next year. What do they say?
Well, how many transactions you want to close, or how much bid volume do you want to close?
Correct. So you say, well, I want to do 30. I want to do whatever. What does Mungo do, guys? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so you're told what to do. Love that. That really works for our personalities, doesn't it, Kate? I think, and then what comes from that? When they say, I want to do 30 a year, what do? They do the math. Well, yes, but how do you get to that 30 a year?
You break it down by small goals, like small pieces that you can get there monthly.
Right, which translate into like, and this is not a knock on people, I'm not going to say names, because even NextHome training does it. They say you want to do 30 a year. Okay, that means you have to do this much farming, 30 cold calls a month, 20 talking to your sphere. Jasper's looking at me like I would kill myself, which most of us would, because that's not our personalities. I think we do it backwards because that doesn't set my heart on fire to go do 30 cold calls, or just go out into the world and throw mailers at people. But what does is, what does my life look like this upcoming year, and how do I translate that into my brand and grow side by side with my business? So for example, Rich was talking about this in 2021. I was working at the Fresh Market full time, so I was barely surviving. I remember calling during these deals, and Katie actually took a due diligence check for me because I was like, I can't leave the office or they're going to think my third dentist appointment this week is a problem. And then in 2022, I was working at the brokerage. Rachel does a way better job than anybody ever has. Yeah, thank you.
You are awesome.
Katie was as well. Me and Katie are like, we could never be a Rachel. I also got engaged. Sorry about that. I was planning a wedding. Boys may not relate to this, but it's tough. And then I started doing some psychotic Excel spreadsheets that show exactly how many sales I have, what I have coming up, like who's next. It's also called a pipeline. I like to talk about it as my Excel sheets. And then I also joined the Moving to North Carolina Facebook page, but we'll dive into some of that stuff. When I did, I think Rich said 10, I had 9. We can compare notes later, Rich. I was a full-time agent. I decided to go full-time. Will kind of pushed me into that. He was like, we'll figure it out. I was like, great. I did get married in May. I coached JV volleyball that year. What a time to be alive. They're so cute. No, they did not become clients. They're 15. And then I started adding in like client events. The next year is when I did the like 19, 21 sales. I was coaching volleyball. I had my baby in December. I was coaching pregnant, and they thought I was going to give birth every game, even though I was like 6 months. And then I started to shift some of my branding from relocation to like a mom, because that was the life that I was living. And then this year, it's been about just like the chaos of being a mom and like holding down a job and proving to people online that like you can do it. And now I actually have some kind of system, SOPs, and whatnot. So I personally think that the way we do our business planning is backwards. I think you should start with like who you are now, what your life is and then collect clients along the way, because otherwise it's just another desk job that none of us signed up for and don't want to do. All right. I think our business can be synonymous with our lives and our strengths, and business will come. There's my notes. All right, so let's dig into it just a little bit, and then we'll get into you guys. There are some key takeaways you will notice on the church pamphlets that I handed out. Please follow along. In 2022, I joined the Moving to North Carolina Facebook group, which is where I met several people. I met Sam and all of my friends. I had no experience in real estate other than working with like a couple of my friends in my sphere. So in my mind, I said, well, what is something I really like to do? I heard about this page. I joined it. I love to host. I love to welcome people to the area. And so I started doing like tours of the Triad, and I would post it all over social media. And that was one of the biggest complaints people had on that Moving to North Carolina Facebook group was, how do I know where to live? Because I can live 30 minutes from work, and that translates to, Sam knows, Sanford, like Burlington, Kernersville, I mean, anywhere. Like if you're willing to drive 20 to 30 minutes. So all these people that were relocating were like, well, how do I narrow this down? And so my thought was, well, how do I solve that problem? And mine was, let's go do a tour of the Triad, because they usually come in for a weekend, and you take them around, you show them houses in their price range and see how far their money can go in each city. And then we would do like a local stop for lunch. So you're also like building rapport. And then now I have a whole process of like, when I meet somebody that's relocating, we have like a Zoom and we talk about all these things. And we really don't talk a lot about the house. We talk about the lifestyle that they want to live. So like, I want to be able to walk to a playground. I want to be able to walk to food. I really love history. So like based off of those things, where would you put those clients? Walk to a playground, history. Irving Park, Lindley Park, Sunset Hills. Yep, Haynes Lake, right? Winston-Salem, Old Salem. Just saw their Christmas stuff came out. Love that. So the key takeaway for your notes is finding a niche or a skill that you can use and build on it. So for those of us that have only been in the business for like a year or so, what is like a unique skill that maybe you have that nobody else has, and how can you build on it? Does anybody want to volunteer? A unique skill you have, Jasper, Katie, Daniel, my new friend Stephanie. What unique skills do you have? Bilingual, okay. Love that. You can tell us where all the really good restaurants are. They like the authentic, do you know like the authentic, wait, what bilingual?
Nicaragua.
Oh, okay, never mind. Is there any Nicaragua food here?
It's
No.
on a food truck on Sam Club. Oh, see, you know that. That's great.
Yes. Let me introduce you to all of the wonderful, authentic international foods. Would love to know the list.
Yes.
I will sign up. Thank you. Anybody else? Daniel, give me one. What's something you're really good at? It doesn't have to be work related. Cars, sports. Sports? Which sport? Hockey. Okay. Do they do brackets in hockey?
Not really, no. But there's local teams, there's transfer teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's plenty of parents that move down here who are like, where should I go take my kid to hockey? So find a niche that you're good at and find ways to build on it. Speak to those people, get involved in it. Do you play on an intramural team? You should. It's fun. I play on an intramural volleyball team, and a lot of my business has come from it. Now, did it take 2 years for people to actually talk to me? But yeah, but it worked out. All right, in 2023, the Moving to North Carolina Facebook group eventually brought in even more and more sales. My sphere started to use me because they were starting to see me on Facebook doing all these things, even though it was only like 7 or 9 sales that year. I was constantly posting it. I started my BNI group. It's been almost 3 years in that BNI group, which is crazy. And then I started the Parade of Home events tour. This is where we kind of get into like sales funnels. So like, where does your business come from? And my goal that year, I specifically remember, was like, I need to have different revenue streams. I need to diversify. Like, people are obviously starting to use me when I move here. People were starting to like recommend me on those pages, but then other phases. And so my funnels are down here on the bottom of the pie chart. It was the Facebook group, my previous job. People started using me from that. Agent referrals, I would get an agent or two that would refer business to me. Personal, we'll pretend that's not on there. And then Sphere. So right there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different revenue streams, which I think you need. Valerie, what revenue streams do you have? What sales funnels?
Past clients are huge.
Yep.
The investors is taken off. I have now gotten 3 or 4 new investors just this year alone because the word's getting out. People are making money. My people I've done like 10 deals with, they're like, they told their uncle, so now he's my client. Then the brother of one of them, I've got him, and then I just got another referral from another guy I met at Florida Core who links back, goes to the same church as all those people.
Yeah, I would beg to say that your church is also a funnel.
Yes, but
It's one you're working on. It's one you're nurturing.
Like you with the volleyball.
Yeah, it takes like some of these, it took years. Yeah, for it to come. So like for the newer agents, what that translates to me is pick different sales funnels that have been proven in the business to use. And then from there, people will gravitate to you that relate to you. When you start talking to people, if you've worked with investors and you know how it works, they'll start coming to you. If you worked in new construction and they're interested in new construction and they want the insider deets on it, those people will come to you.
And one of the things, when I got here, we didn't know a soul. We had no Sphere. I had nothing. So my very first thing was the leads on Realtor.com and Zillow. Just FYI.
Which is also an option or a stream that you can choose to be a part of. It works. It works for some people. You have to have a really strong follow-up game, in my opinion. Yeah. All right, let's get into the good stuff. 2024, the revenue streams here at the bottom turned into Facebook group, agent referrals, Sphere, again, personal, man, what have I been doing? Client referrals, and my BNI group. I started adding in my Facebook groups for moms because I was a mom and it wasn't weird to be in the groups. I started doing events for my people. The Parade of Homes event, I would get all my clients together. We'd get in a bus and we'd go around to the Parade of Homes and look at homes we couldn't afford. It was great. We talk about all the things that we wish that they did, even though there's no way we could have afforded a $2.1 million home, which I found fascinating. All of a sudden you become a snob when you start looking at those. We had a great time and we loved pretending. And then we also recruited people along the way. Christmas card photography. So I realized that every mom wants pictures of them and their family. So we started doing like Christmas minis, and the first year I did it like with the brokerage and had a pretty good amount of people come out. This year I had 30 spots and they all got booked up like immediately. And then I started providing like a guide to the Piedmont Triad. And I was thinking about this yesterday. And let me just tell you, this thing took me like 4 hours to make because I wanted it to be like actual things that I liked, not just like the popular ones that everybody talks about, because you can find that on any list online. Like here's the top restaurants and whatever. And I think some of them are overrated personally. When I created this, I actually shared it to like the NextHome Facebook page. And I think that's kind of what sparked a lot of agents to use me because they saw that I was providing resources and actually putting thought into it. And so that kind of provided a little bit of credibility on my end. So the key point here is provide resources that establish credibility. So like magazines you'd recommend reading, blog posts, social posts of your closings, your tours of the Triad. Like that video over there is like a come to work with me, and it was like me in 3 different cities and where we went. And so I know people saw that and booked. There's the Christmas minis with the family that looks like they could be in Ralph Lauren. Any questions there? Okay, cool. All right, and this year, you can see my pie chart has quite a bit more on there. Clients started coming to me on Facebook groups. People saw like people like Sam recommending me, some of my other clients that I had gotten in the Facebook groups, and they wouldn't even like post on there like, hey, I'm looking for an agent in Greensboro. They would find posts that said Greensboro and find my name in there several times and just call me. Same with like one I had recently, I commented on like a military referral network, and that guy found me, looked up my webpage, and then I got a listing appointment and possibly another listing from it for the beginning of next year. So like these things over time, constantly advocating for yourself, people eventually start advocating for you, but you have to kind of be your biggest advocate there in the beginning. Agent referrals increased because I think people started seeing my social media. I was pretty consistent, almost annoying over that, but as millennials, I think we are. I started advertising in a local magazine, and this is kind of where like my brand started to shift just a little bit. So like I obviously didn't have as much time to take people around on tours of the Triad unless I had babysitting, which is fine by me. But I knew that I had this whole group and mom groups that I could speak to and relate to and understand. And so I started focusing on like, yes, I'm a mom, but I can do this. That year I lost a couple clients because they said, well, you're going to have a lot going on. And I was like, yeah, delete. And so, yeah, no, they're not my friends on Facebook anymore, but it's fine. So my brand changed to like more of like being a working mom and finding ways to make it look. And I think it's very important to note that like a lot of my stuff was not uber professional. It was very authentic. It was like I had my pumping supplies in the car while I was doing 7 showings for these people from Virginia. But that was another example of they saw my name on that Facebook page a bunch of times, looked me up, and chose to call me like weeks after I had Simmons, and I was doing like a Zoom call with her, like just chilling. All right, so my sales funnels went to the Facebook groups. Here we are again. Repeat clients, that took a while. So like repeat clients this year were people that moved here, needed to move somewhere else for another job. Those were several different people, needed to upgrade homes. So that helped add some business. Agent referrals started picking up. Personal, again, I've moved every year apparently. Sphere, more of my sphere saw how much business I was doing and was like, oh, okay, I feel comfortable using her now. She knows what she's doing. I had somebody at a baby shower say, yeah, we used one of our friends and we wish we would have gone with you. And I was like, I know. It's tough. It's a tough lesson to learn. Which is fine. Like, I don't make people feel bad about that. Like, it is what it is. And like, you do want to support your friends, and why would I tell you not to? This video from Cranky's got 31,000 views on TikTok. People care about that. They want to know that like, you know where all the spots are. You know, like we're supposed to be experts on the location that I'm moving to. So I think it's something fun that establishes business. So a lot of my content turned into like being a mom, and then like going to eat places, which we all do. I also had several client referrals. So like playing volleyball started to come to fruition. One of my clients that took 2 years to buy a house sent me 4 referrals. So it was worth the 2 years. He did bench me last season, which I understand. Having a mom changes your skill level, or being a mom. All right, so this is again where like sales funnels come in, diversify your business. I also added in, I got a referral from a lender because they came to the lender and they were like, who can I work with that I don't have to feel professional around, and I just want to go see houses and not have to dress up. And I'm your girl. Yeah. So I got a lender referral from that, which was fun to add. And then open houses. I started doing more and more open houses. That was about when the TikTok trend showed up, where it's the guy that's like Jasper's age, that was like, I'm doing 100.
Was this the speed tour, the one that runs through the house, or is it somebody different?
No, but I love that.
Yeah.
He was doing 100 open houses and recording it on a series over social media. And he like literally was brand new. Like, but people used him because they were like, look, this is so fun. Yeah, and he's like doing all this stuff, and it's like, well, guess he knows what he's talking about. But I also saw one too where like an agent took off on social media because she played hide and seek in her listings. Hilarious. Anyway, find a way to make it fun. All right, so these are just kind of the things that I think changed my career. Consistency is a big one. Like those 2 years I played volleyball before things actually came to fruition mattered, even though it was very frustrating to play after having a child. Finding your funnels. So like everybody has different funnels. Some of them are very much the same. Open houses, mailers, getting in touch with your sphere. But I would challenge you to find funnels that work with you. So coaching volleyball, playing hockey. What do you like to do, Jasper? Tech stuff. Meet up with your techie friends, right? Branding your life. So this is where the part comes in that is like the way we do it backwards. Yes, it's good to have goals. Yes, we will make those goals a little bit later on, but you need to also brand who you are as a person, and who you are as a person should be not just a real estate agent, because there are at least thousands of them in the Triad. How many real estate agents are there in the Triad, Rich?
There's just on the MLS, in the Triad MLS, that have done at least one sale just to be noticed.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost probably around 4,000.
Wow.
4,000 agents. So if you need an agent, you could throw a rock and hit 3. The question is, why would I want to work with you? And for us that have only been in the business for a couple years, you want to work with me because you can relate to me. You understand that working with me is like a very authentic experience. There's going to be a lot of comedic relief. But there's also some proof online that I've done this and can get you through the transaction as well. Systems. So systems became important. The first year when I had 2, not a whole lot of systems needed. However, when I started to get into 9 and 20, 21, 26, 30, it was definitely needed, because Valerie can attest, when you have kids, you need someone to help you with your paperwork, to help you take signs to places that you can't get to because they're 30 minutes away, all the good stuff. All right, here we go. So what does my business planning look like? Snoop on a stoop. There it is.
Does Snoop help you do this?
Always. Yeah. All right, step 1, look at the numbers. Don't worry, guys. I'll get to you the ones that I've only been in for a little bit. KPIs are key performance indicators. We use that in the corporate world, and I felt cool doing it here. I think it is important to keep track of your goals. Have those goals. Don't spend your entire time on them. Maybe you want to do 30 for the year. You want to stay the same because you've got like a big life event that year. You're moving, buying land, living in an RV, trying to survive marriage, you know? You want to keep an idea. So your key performance indicators are what tell you that what you're doing is working. So if I'm getting sales, I can pay my bills, things are looking good, I've got more clients coming, I've got a good pipeline, then I know that business is good. It's healthy. Sales funnels, I started tracking where people were coming from. So instead of it just being like Sphere, it was like volleyball, Bible study from 4 years ago, like whatever. And that turns into your high producing activities. We'll get to that. Expenses, where are you spending your money? I think for a lot of people, putting $400 into mailers is a lot for them. So my question is, if you start doing it, do you know how well it did? And was it worth it? Is it going anywhere? Where does your money go? And if you're not spending any money on your business, you probably should be. Taxes. Please keep up with your taxes. That's very scary if you don't. That is just a type A. I'm not type A. That is a type B that doesn't want to go to jail. Your numbers will show you where your business comes from. Your client avatar, so who you're talking to, who seems to be attracted to you, very much hit the mark. Sam, tell me if I'm right, but it seems that like moms who run the household, who want to hang out with another mom who is accommodating and available has kind of been my MO for a while. Fits. And usually it was like people whose husbands did a lot in business, but the wife was the one who really ran the show. Yeah. Okay. That right there is a QR code to a template for how I track my goals. You will have different numbers and splits. It doesn't work.
Who's working?
It's probably too dark.
Okay.
Is that Wilson? Brightness and-
I don't think that's how it works, but I can send it to you guys. No worries. We all have our emails here, right?
Can you see if it works when you get a phone?
If I get it, I'll send it to you.
Or go to her computer, maybe.
Oh, you're so smart. Does that help? Does that put a distractor?
Yeah, mine worked.
On your computer.
I know. Well,
Email do I have?
we have your emails. We'll send it to you. On there, I track like what stage my business is at, or my people are at, the source they came from, and then I can calculate like what the commission's going to be, and that way I kind of like know, like, yes, I can pay my bills next month. It's a good thing to know if you've got a child that eats a lot of blueberries.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't care.
If they're not here, they don't get the goodies, or what?
Yeah, they will. All right, so this is the point where you're supposed to say, but I don't know where my business comes
But I
from.
don't know where my business comes from.
What?
From me.
Where's your business come from, Christina?
From recent sales, parent influence, and then crazy plant people online.
Love that.
Plant people?
There's your sales funnel is crazy plant people.
But now after seeing this, I need to reach out to like, middle-aged moms, that have young adult children that you want to food out your house.
Well,
They want to what?
I need to start making videos.
all right. This is for you. This is for my other fellow startups. What if you don't have sales history? All right. There are things that have worked for years and years and years, and they talk about it all the time. It's open houses, engaging your sphere, taking on referrals from busier agents. There's other ideas in there somewhere.
How Snoop is doing this whole thing.
He's working at Cane's, obviously. I just love Snoop, and I just think he's so funny. And talk about someone who's like completely rebranded himself over the years. Like, yes, I mean, think about Martha Stewart and Snoop. Like, they changed. He went to the Olympics and was our mascot. Like, come on, he's really changed his brand over the years. This is where you need to start providing social proof. So the guy who did 100 open houses on TikTok, he was showing people that he was working his butt off. So you need to provide social proof that you're doing the things that you're talking about. So like when you go into new construction houses, you point out the things that you notice that other people probably wouldn't notice because you worked in new construction. Like, this missing piece on the wall means that the mutter did a horrible job, so now we need to keep an eye on all these other spots. Or this right here shows me that the HVAC boot wasn't put in correctly. We need to get somebody to check that. You have to be your biggest advocate before others do it for you. This is kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of idea, but like, you have to show people that you're working in the business, and then it'll eventually turn into, hey, I saw Evan was doing a lot of real estate. Let me go work with her. People will see it. This is why Snoop is on here. If it's flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, be the best hamburger flipper in the world. Whatever it is you do, have
Have to master your craft.
there it is. Master your craft. If you're flipping hamburgers, if you're serving up pizzas, master your craft.
You have to master your craft.
You do. And if you want to be a real estate agent, there's going to be a lot of work that goes in the first couple years that don't actually come into fruition. So that's very important. All right. So from there, what I want everybody to do is think back into their business and where your clients came from. And that is going to produce your actions for the next year. So I know my clients 51% came from Facebook, 12% came from agent referrals, 10% came from client referrals, 8% from Sphere, plus 2% volleyball. That's in there. And then 6% open houses. So from there, when I go to plan my year, I know that on a monthly and a weekly basis, I need to be on Facebook. I need to be engaging with other referrals. I need to be playing volleyball. I need to be on social media. I need to be visiting my sphere. I need to be engaging with my past clients, and I need to be hosting open houses. So where your sales came from, so this could also be your sales funnels, turns into associated activities. Associated activities for Christina would be talking to people about crazy plants on Facebook, right? It sounds insane, but if it produces clients, then it's kind of like a way of saying like, yes, you can do it. Like, it's the idea of like, if you make your budget, it's not a restraint on your budget, but it's a like, oh, I have money to spend in that budget. You're allowing yourself to do it. So like, allow yourself to play volleyball, play hockey, go to the gym, go do fun things, try out different restaurants. And then from there, you're going to build your marketing, PR, social calendar plans. And then as you go through the year, you're going to track and execute. That's the part that most people don't end up doing. I would say about 98% of them. All right, so step 3 is when I start doing all of my plans. So I fill in my yearly calendar with the big stuff. So like I have my events that everybody knows me for. So like the Parade of Homes. I like to send out CDs for people that bought last year so they know what's coming up for their taxes. I like to do the fall festival invites and a Thankful for You note card. I fill in all those things in my calendar. Notice none of them say 2 sales a month. This much in volume. These are the activities that you're going to be doing that you're going to hold yourself to. Monthly, I do a Friends Making Friends brunch, which is where my relocation clients get invited to brunch and they can make their own friends because we saw that that was a need because it's very hard to make friends as an adult and then also as someone who's new to the area. So that was kind of a solution to that. And then your high producing activities, schedule lunch with your people. Playing the volleyball league. Here we are again. Facebook comments, open houses, talking to agents, and making a plan for a referral plan. Okay? Where are we on our sheet? Do we have this on there?
We only have sheets to fill out.
Yeah. So what are we filling out?
Here's the plan, Bob.
Plan, yearly, monthly, and campaigns for your business is next.
All right. Can I have a volunteer?
Katie.
Absolutely. Daniel didn't jump at it, so we'll give it to Katie. All right. So your numbers. Do you have plans or goals for your volume, the average price? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm basically starting over from ground zero. So my numbers next year, I'll probably aim for like 15 to 20.
Okay.
Average price, I'll probably say around 300, 400, that range.
Yep.
Client sources, I have been farming past other neighborhoods.
Yep.
I've been doing that, open houses, I need to get back into, but I've been planning to do something. I can't market at the gym because the biggest person in Burlington owns it,
Oh, love that.
so can't do that. What else?
Are there agents in like Raleigh or Burlington or somewhere else that could refer clients to you in that area? Agent referrals would be a good one. Yeah. Your sphere. You and Gray have friends, right?
Most of them didn't, but yeah.
Okay. Gray's friends.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. So you guys should be filling this in as you go. Christina, what do you have on here?
It's blank.
Okay, great. Let's fill it out. Volume. What do you want to do? 2026.
I'm probably gonna say 7 to 12.
Mm-hmm. Average price. What do you want?
Well, with the way the market is, we're probably gonna be 300 to 400.
I love your optimism. Client sources. It's going up. Client sources. Tell us about your crazy plant people.
I think that I was actually looking at my past sales
Love that.
on my spreadsheet.
Love that.
And where did I write it down? It has been mostly my sphere, open house, and then past clients referring me to other people.
Okay. What other ones can you add next year?
I think that I need to reach out in my plant groups and start doing like events at my house.
Love that. You told me the other day that you get a lot of clients from open houses.
Open houses, I did get a lot of clients. Like, there was actually like 4 of them
Yeah.
that were from open houses.
There you go. All right.
And they referred other people to me.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel, do you mind sharing? What do you want to do next year?
I'm hoping for 15.
15, pay the bills. Absolutely. And some.
I guess average price.
Yeah. Love that. I love the people in the 350s because they're usually relatable. Right. So I think that's why a lot of us like are geared towards them unless you're shooting for luxury, because very few luxury clients I can relate to. So tell me about your client sources. I know you're in new construction now. So like ideally, if you went full time next year, where do you think you'd pull clients from? Open houses would be a good one. Your sphere, I see you have a cross. Do you have like a small group or a church? Okay, do they know you're in real estate?
For the most part.
Okay,
And then
it'll
it's a
come.
Very small church. I mean, there's.
Yeah, I was about to say switch churches, but no.
I mean, I would say probably about 75.
Yeah, even better. So that way you're on a first name basis, right? Yeah. So this week, okay. Listen, don't use the Lord to get business. But like it's not a bad thing to talk about your business because you will need the Lord during your business at some point. That's also a great, and that's one of those that will come. Like you got to be consistent and in there. Nobody has said social media.
Oh, yeah.
Hit 'em where it hurts. Stephanie, would you like to do it as well? What are you hoping to do next year?
When you get started.
When you get started,
First year.
maybe 5, 10.
Yeah. Like
Yeah. All right. Let me make it for you. Average price. So some of your friends and family, what would you say the value of their home is? Please say $1 million. Please say $1 million. Okay. All right. So do you think they live in probably like $300,000 houses? Yeah. Very good. So let's keep that as to what you want for your average price. So client sources, you're brand new, right? So maybe Valerie will shoot you a client that she doesn't need to work with, or maybe is bilingual and literally can't. So what do you speak?
Spanish.
Okay. Very good.
So everybody-
What? Is that like a known thing?
No.
It could be French. It could be French. No?
No one knows what Toronto is.
It's in
But it's in Central
It's in Central America.
But don't they have French there too?
For my people.
No, that's
South
South
America
America and it's whatever.
Okay, great. So Stephanie is going to educate us on all things international.
You know, he's got 2 babies.
Ah, fabulous.
Dominican. So
Dominican.
he speaks Spanish too.
Okay.
Are you
So
from
here's the
Miami?
thing. Let me just tell you
You're from
something.
Miami?
Okay.
You know how I do?
She is in Ashboro. There is only one agent who is terrible, who gets all the business that speaks Spanish in Ashboro.
Oh, that speaks Spanish. I was like, don't talk about my girl like that.
No,
Oh.
there's no good Spanish-speaking people in Ashboro. She gets
There's not.
She's
And you know what's near Ashboro is the Toyota plant. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of bilingual people there.
Of course, the museum is there, so people come in and visiting. Maybe they want to stay. I mean, she can tap into that.
Yes.
She got 2 little ones. She can tap
You can tap into mom groups. I know an agent. Yeah.
Lady does karate. Oh, there you go. See?
So you're adding to your client sources, your kids' friends, mom groups. Is there a mom group in Ashboro?
Not create one.
If not, create one.
Not in social media like that.
Okay, where you're going to be.
How are your kids?
My youngest one is 3 and the oldest one is 7.
Aww.
All right, so Stephanie is now creating a Facebook group for moms in Ashboro that are bilingual. And we're going to have local potlucks where you cook something from where you're from.
Yeah, can I come? My kids are grown, but I'll come over. And I'll cook something.
There you go. So we have client resources for you. Okay. All right. So from that, everybody's going to create high producing activities. So from what we just talked about, what are your high producing activities? I know what you're thinking. I don't know. All right. So your high producing activities are going to church, going to open houses. What were some of your other ones that you wrote down
Well, you
for
have to
client
be able to-
sources?
if you're gonna go, right? Or put it out there somehow.
Yeah.
More social media.
Social media,
I do get a lot of
hanging out with
like,
mom friends, talking that all about your real estate. It'll come up. They'll be like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm in real estate. How are you? Yeah. What else? Katie, what are your high performing activities that you're going to be doing? Mailers was one.
Does that go into
That's
high
Miller,
producing?
Yeah, if it works for you and that's something that you like, because you do your client mailers, right? And those do good job for you. So from that, you would say I don't know how often you're doing it, but every month that's on my to-do list. Every month, 2 or 3 open houses is on my to-do list. Okay. Daniel's furiously writing away. What do you have?
Just kind of leaving that.
Oh, okay. Cool. I love that. Yeah, put down all the jokes, please. Jasper, what are your high producing activities?
I try to be getting into the local businesses, like a weekly, 5 different businesses a week, going there and get lunch, chit chat, stuff like that.
I love a chit chat. Yeah, lunches with your friends count as this too. Catching up with your friends, staying in touch with your past clients. I know Rich and Amy do like lunches couple times a month with past clients just to like say hello, because Amy and I are very similar in the fact that we make friends with our clients and then like we want to be friends with them afterwards. So I have to like make an effort to do that because I'm also making friends with new clients. So remember to go to lunch with your friends, say hello to people. My sister goes to dance class with her daughter, and I went with her one day and made her a friend. So like find ways to make friends and start planting seeds that will eventually come to fruition. All right, here we go. Campaigns. So this is kind of where we come into your brand. So does anybody have like a brand for their business that they would like to share? I'll go first. Relocation was my brand, like welcoming people to the Triad. I had a guide for them that would tell them what schools to go to, like the biggest hospitals in the area. Something I'd like to add is like where veterans can hang out, or like one level living is for people that are moving here to be with family. The best places to eat, where to connect with other moms, like the Triad Moms on main pages in there, and it's linked. So I produced a campaign of sorts, and from that relocation I started doing like neighborhood tours, like this is how much things cost. And I actually saw an Instagram post of someone who did this the other day where it was like, in Winston-Salem, this is how much houses cost, and here, and here. Because the first question when people move here is, well, where can I live for $350,000, right? So what neighborhoods are those, and are you promoting them? Can you list them off the top of your head? Like, oh, you need that? You're going to go here, and here. I'll take you, right? I want somewhere walkable. Do you know every walkable neighborhood? No. Yeah, me neither. And more are coming up. New construction. Do you know where the good builders are? Like, as a new construction people, who would you recommend people go to?
Like what neighborhoods or what builders?
Builders. And then that translates into neighborhoods. Lennar. Interesting. Okay. Where else? Garmin. Do you like Garmin?
Some of their series.
Okay.
Garmin, Lennar.
Royal Homes. I love Royal Homes. I hope you do. I like them. You'll have to tell me your feedback on that. Okay, right? So right there, we're thinking of different lead magnets for you guys. So like for you guys, you're probably want to do like an insider's guide to new construction. So like what you look for, what you suggest, maybe the people on your top list, this how to know what series to choose. And then maybe like a generic, like if I was looking in the 200s, these are the builders available. If I was looking in the 300s, these are the builders available, because it establishes credibility and you know something that I don't know. Thoughts?
Me? Oh, boy.
You looked very serious.
Oh, me? No.
Okay, just
No.
thinking. Cool.
No, yeah, I was
She's
just
digging
thinking.
deep in her brain.
I was thinking, I'm plotting.
Okay. So can anybody, now that we've talked about this, like what does your brand look like? I know Katie and Daniel are very new construction branded. You know, like are you into farming or anything, Daniel? Military? Okay, tell me about you. What do you do? I'm going to brand you right now. What sports? Hockey.
Yeah,
Okay.
I enjoy watching it.
Are you from the South?
Yeah.
Okay. The best Southern restaurants in the area. Where to get land. Everybody wants land.
Native of Greensboro, you said, right?
So Daniel's
Kernersville.
actually engaged.
Oh,
So while we're talking about ways that we can do new construction, wouldn't it be awesome to do a guide to getting married from a guy's version?
I would read it, Daniel. You can call my husband and ask about it because he did nothing. I'm just kidding.
Teaching is this life. So this year, it's very much going to be about him and his fiance planning their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have, while they go out and do cake testing and have it be from a guy's
Absolutely.
perspective? And so that, you know,
Buying a house. Do you guys own a home? Okay, so are you planning to buy a house together? Okay, so as someone who has experience in new construction, maybe one of yours would be shopping with your new fiance.
To buy our first home together.
Yes,
They don't
so,
need to know it's your first home, period. Just to first home together.
or if it is, I mean, I think it's okay personally because, well, but here's the thing, like,
Come on now.
That doesn't mean that you bought your own house.
yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to own your own house. He's worked with other people through the process. So, I mean, to be fair, like, yeah, to be fair, like, they want to see authenticity. So, like, if they see you and your fiance going through the process, they're going to say, like, okay, he's gone through it. I want to see what it's like with me. And you'll probably along the way find these, like, pain points. Like, my wife needs a closet, where she immediately walked out if it wasn't a walk-in closet. These places had the best incentives, and for like newly married couple who's like eating ramen these days is probably going to want the biggest bang for their buck. So here's what I would go from here's where I would go for my first house. For me personally, my history comes from living in brick ranches, so I'm a big brick ranch kind of gal. One bathroom didn't bother me for a little bit, but like I feel like starting out in your first home, those brick ranches that are older that you can like aesthetically make look cute would be great for like newly engaged one level living. Amy.
so then for Katie could do guide to dating in the Triad for right now. And so, and then also.
Tell us where you found all your boyfriends.
If you're already going to be out.
Rich was like,
You and Gray like to go to different
oh yeah, right.
restaurants, try different, like,
This is where I do date night in the Triad. Our favorite spots.
and then.
So that's a more personal note, but new construction.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So they have a funnel that is from their niche with professionally,
Mhm.
but then they have a funnel that's going through their personal, like, and then also Katie and Gray have been, I guess, remodeling a ranch home, and it's very minimal, it's very cute, and so she should be doing like
Did
before
you
and
do before and
after.
afters per room? Oh, that would be
Good
good.
pictures, yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
No, I would.
Great.
I would do like remodeling as a couple, like what that looks like or what to look for in your first home together. So like, yes, can you have a vision? How did you find your vision? ChatGPT vision for me, you know, like that kind of thing. You use Kubicasa to have the floor plan so I could change it on my phone. Or like as a real estate agent, you probably also know where the biggest bang for your buck came from. So like, I'm not going to completely remodel a brick ranch home where the comps are like 200,000. I'm going to paint. I'm probably going to replace that blue toilet from the 70s. But like the biggest bang for my buck came from this, and then tell people what that is. Because in a world where people are telling us that our generation can't afford homes, we can, and you should tell them how. Buy the house with the ugly kitchen, replace the countertops. Okay? Build equity and be ready to stay there over the years. Like I saw one that was like, let's normalize buying the home you have to fix up, or buying the home that's got like 5 years left on the HVAC, and like budget for it. God forbid. So for me, for example, my campaigns this year, I want to do like a moms for moms. Like, since my brand is kind of shifting from like some relocation, it's like moms for moms. And in my magazine, I'm talking about like buying a house as a mom, like the top tips for taking your kids on showings, how to pack your house when you've got twins moving from Florida. Those are real life scenarios and pain points that they have had. Amy had a really good one the other day where she has like a laundry hamper that she gave one of her clients and was like, before you have a showing, take this hamper and put all the kids' toys, anything on the counter, and just throw it in a closet. Bills, pediatrician stuff, toys, snacks that they just left in the middle of the floor, throw it in there, and then an hour before, head out. I also want to do, so there's my Facebook. Those are my lead magnets, checklists for moving with kids. I'm going to do a brand photo shoot with my micro team, me, Sam, and the TC, and we're going to take a picture all together as a team, and then also a picture with us and like one of our kids, because honestly, they're pretty cute. I also have a web page. So I have a page that's for the moms, and it's got links to all these sources for them, and like experiences and client testimonials from other moms that have worked with me. And then from there, like, I come from a marketing background, so my thoughts are like, what PR can I do? And this is where spending your money comes into play. So like, how are you telling people? The cheapest way to do that is social media. Okay. Branding photo shoots is also a way to do that. But if you want to start doing like paid ads, I think the question is, how can you get the biggest bang for your buck? And in my mind, doing a paid partnership with the biggest mom blog in the area to tell people how to buy a home with kids is the biggest bang for my buck versus paying the $700 to be on the directory. Because I don't think people go to the directory to look for a real estate agent. You know what they do, and what they've done for years is they've gone on that page and they said, hey, I need someone to help me. Who have you used that you really like? And now I have a web page I can send them to. I have client testimonials I can send them to. I'm going to be on the Triad Moms on Main page. So I'm gaining credibility and resources for people that want to purchase a house as a mom. Okay. Relocation, I'm still going to focus on that. I've got my lead magnet. I'm going to update my list for the years. Probably ask for some people, like, you know, one of the ones that Triad Moms on Main's had that I wanted to like look into is like, where can kids eat for free? Because everybody wants to know, like, I remember someone visiting and they were like, where can we go for lunch where my kids can scream and no one's going to say anything? And I was like, Chick-fil-A, Dario, you know, like, really though, like, we're the drive-through, Sheets. No, I'm just kidding. There's more. And then agent referrals is also another one of my sources. And so for me, I want to have like some kind of mailer, a NextHome Facebook. I want to provide more resources. And then I want to attend regional events because showing your face does a lot when you go to those events. So that's just